first story comes from a Reddit user named NightTerror89. They say they've had sleep paralysis for years. But one night, it escalated. The room was silent, dark too. But they could sense something close. It wasn't the usual pressure on their chest or the suffocating darkness they felt before. No, this time it was the shape of a figure, a shadow, standing over them. At first they couldn't make out the details, just a dark outline in the corner of the room. The more they focused, the clearer it became. The figure had a face, but it wasn't a face at all. Just a featureless mask, a cold, empty space where eyes should be, and it was staring directly at them. They could feel the gaze, even though the thing had no eyes. The fear was suffocating, but still, they couldn't move. Frozen, trapped in their own body as the shadow took a slow step toward them. Then, a whisper, a voice in their ear.
You can't escape.
It was only after a few moments, when the figure finally vanished, that they realized something terrifying. They hadn't been awake at all. Their mind had tricked them. But when they woke up the next morning, they were left wondering, was the shadow real? Or had it just been a glimpse into something far worse? Next up is a Reddit user by the name of CreepedOut2010. They describe a terrifying experience one night that began just like any other. But when they woke up, they noticed a strange presence in the room. A figure at the foot of their bed, standing completely still. They couldn't make out its face, but it was large, menacing, and watching them. They tried to scream, to move, to do anything, but their body betrayed them. Just when they thought they couldn't take it anymore, the figure stepped forward. And then they saw it, a flash of something in the figure's hand. A knife. The figure was holding a knife, and it was coming closer, closer, until it loomed over them. Their heart raced, their breath caught in their chest. Sudden loud sound, knife scraping against metal. But when the figure finally reached out to touch them, they woke up, in their own bed, alone. But when they checked their arms the next morning, they found small cuts, deep, fresh wounds. The knife wasn't just a figment of their imagination. Our next story is equally chilling. Moonlit Nightmare recounts an experience where they woke up, unable to move, but hearing a soft cry coming from the other side of their bedroom. At first, they thought it was a dream, maybe a neighbor's child. But as the cries grew louder, closer, they realized something far more sinister was happening. Distant sound of a baby crying. The cries were growing louder and closer. Suddenly, they felt the bed shift. Something or someone was sitting next to them. And then they saw it. A child, pale, gaunt, with hollow eyes staring at them from the edge of the bed. The child wasn't crying anymore. It was staring. Frozen. They could only feel the cold, unnatural weight pressing down on the bed. And then the child's mouth opened, wide, wider than any human's mouth should have been. It leaned in inches from their face and whispered,
"You didn't save me."
What if I told you sleep paralysis isn't just a random affliction, but a portal? A doorway to another realm? What if, when you're paralyzed in your sleep, you're not just trapped in your own body, but in a realm between life and death? A place where the things you fear most come to life. If you've ever had a close call with sleep paralysis, or you've seen things you can't explain, I want you to leave a comment below. What did you experience? Were you able to escape? Or are you still wondering if it was all real? Make sure to check out my next story, I Survived the Whispering Woods. It's another terrifying tale that will make you question everything you thought you knew about horror. Just click on the screen right now and let's dive into even more nightmares.